Hello guys, I hope you're doing very well today. So today I'll be working on a commission. This one is actually very close to my heart and I have lots of emotion tied to this one. So I really wanted to do it justice. Since it felt really personal, I went back and forth whether I want to share this or not and even record it. I have gotten so used to filming my process that I hit record without even thinking it through. Later, I thought, well, I don't want it to go to waste, so I kind of figured that it would be nice to explain my thought process and the meandering path I took to reach the final piece. So, yeah, that's what we are doing today. Also, I should say, I really like the final result. I haven't done much original work this year. Most of my time has gone into studies, as you guys know. So doing something different felt really refreshing. Even though I felt like I kind of reverted back to my original style, I didn't get to apply all the new things that I've learned recently. But that's fine. I promised I shan't be too hard on myself. So I really enjoyed working on this one, and I hope you'll like it as well. So before I start to ramble bamble, I just a quick heads up actually. I recorded the footage itself over a period of 2 days. Both were kind of gloomy and rainy, so the lighting is a bit all over the place. Sometimes it's bright, sometimes it's kind of shadowy. So I hope it's not too distracting. So with that being out of the way, this is actually my second time recording this voiceover. If you can believe that. Actually, third time. Second time, I forgot to hit record button itself. I mean, I usually don't have much to say because I usually just talk about how my week's been and what I'm doing and that sort of thing. In this one, I feel like I do have a bit to say for about the illustration itself. When I did the first voiceover, I kept scrambling off one thing to another. Overall, it didn't quite make sense. I ultimately deleted it, so I reworked the script itself. So here we are. So basically, I'm going to talk about two things. One is the inspiration itself, another is the execution. I did a few trials, none of them worked out, and I'll get into why they didn't work out. So I will start with inspiration. We'll go from there, okay? So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so the core idea was inspired by something called kintsugi. I'm probably pronouncing it wrongly, by the way. I looked it up and everything, but it still doesn't quite roll off my tongue easily. So basically, it's this beautiful Japanese technique of repairing broken pottery with gold. The idea is that something broken can still be beautiful, maybe even more beautiful because of the break itself. I'll pop in some images on the screen so you can see what I mean. That philosophy, it really stayed with me actually. Instead of hiding the cracks, you fill them with gold, you honor them, you make them part of the story. It's just not about the repair itself, it's about the transformation, right? I actually first came across it in Tina's work. You might know her as Amawanda. Even though this illustration didn't end up that way, but that's where it started actually. And I think I really needed that reminder in my own life as well. Because honestly, there have been moments where I felt too driven beyond repair. So, yeah, this one felt really personal in more ways than I expected. So the idea of filling the cracks with gold, it makes me feel a little less irreversible in a world that so often is not, right? So yeah, I'll admit, even recording this voiceover made me feel a little unfortified. That's actually why I considered skipping it altogether. Let's see what happens. Anyway, I've actually been preparing for it for a while. I did two separate studies before reaching the finals. So, first, I started with the monochrome statue study. The reason I chose a statue is because I felt like a broken statue study would have helped me understand how the cracks form to better depict the fragility. Because at first I thought that is the direction I want to go in with the illustration. Also, the statues, it it is very easier to understand how shadows wrap around the surface of a marble statue regardless of facial features. It's just very stark and very easy to depict, right? Even though it is an idea I will definitely revisit later, and it just didn't vibe with the when I paired it with the actual illustration, actual sketch itself. It just didn't quite vibe because I feel like the sketch itself is more stylistic, where the study is more realistic. I don't know, it just didn't quite vibe. So the second study was a bit aligned with the final composition itself. I'll put it up here. It was okay. I really liked the parts of it, but it really wasn't as striking as I thought it would be. I added gold paint, kind of like kintsugi itself, but it didn't quite land. I think I really needed real gold leaf and proper materials to actually pull that off. Since I didn't end up going in the route in the final, I just let that idea go, I suppose. Eventually, I switched to color. Surprisingly, that's what worked. But this version turned out way better than expected, even though it doesn't quite look exactly the way I envisioned it in my head. But I am quite happy with the final result. I think I said it like already 10 times. But yeah, so that is the meandering path I took to reach the final piece. Honestly, it was kind of a roller coaster because I feel like I kept chasing this vision in my head. But in the end, I think it all worked out for the best, right? So as usual, I used acrylic wash with a bit of watercolor here and there, like every other illustration of mine. I paired it with Archie's as usual. It's my favorite paper brown like ever. When I'm practicing or sketching, I don't usually bring out my expensive paper, but using the right paper, it just gives me immense joy that I cannot articulate in words. I've actually tried a bunch of other brands, but this one is definitely my favorite. Honestly, I feel like if they stop making their paper, I think I'm going to stop drawing. Anyway, I actually used cold pressed instead of hot pressed this time. Normally, for detailed illustration, I go for cold pressed paper because it's very less textured, right? Easier to work with. But this time I used the back of the cold pressed paper, and it's way less textured, and I really liked it. Also, I should let you know that you'll notice there is a bit of jump cut. I think it is actually at the end of the video, so it's not going to be synced, but I still thought I should let you know that there is a bit of jump cut. I worked on the face and the cracks and such. I didn't film those parts where I'm doing the details. When I'm doing the details, I actually need to get really close to the paper, like practically nose to the paper close. And that's really not exactly camera friendly angle. You'd probably see the back of my head. And I was also kind of nervous, to be honest. Afraid I'd make mistake and ruin the whole painting. So I just added stress of camera wasn't really helping, so I kind of skipped it. And so yeah, as you probably noticed that most of the year I actually been doing quiet work and lighting studies, gestures, master copies. I haven't really made original in a month, but this piece really felt like a homecoming, whatever. Feel like really home to me, and it was really nice change of pace. That said, I haven't really shown the final piece to my client just yet. If you can believe that. I know I should have, but I always get so anxious even after all these years, my heart in my throat, kind of thing. Do you know? I wish I could say it gets easier with time, but it really doesn't, to be honest. And the don't reply right away, which is totally fair, right? They have lives and such, but my brain instantly goes like, "Oh my god, they hate it. It's awful. I messed up." I go into this spiral. So I actually devised a plan. What I do nowadays is I ask when they're free, and I will ask them to ping me when they have a moment to chat. Then I will send the artwork. That way I don't have to sit there living with this with my heart in my throat, right? Thankfully, I've worked with the kindest people ever. They have been so very kind to me and very accommodating. I really do feel lucky in that regard. So yeah, I still haven't sent it. By the time this video goes live, I will have, of course. But yeah, that's where we are right now. This video is actually kind of late. I was actually done recording the footage and the editing itself by 26th. I was like, wow, I'm rocking this week. Then I got kind of sick. So here we are. Honestly, I keep getting sick this year so often. I don't know what's going on. Maybe a tiger crossed my shadow or something. Who knows? Anyway, this video probably going to be a little bit longer than my usual ones because the process itself took a little bit longer. Even though I haven't really done my final cut yet, I can already tell since it's longer than usual, I feel like I should have more to say and such to fill the space, I literally but I realized I literally have nothing else to say. So here we are. It's time to close this off, guys. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. You've made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. It means more than I can say. Thanks again. I will see you in my next one. Bye.